Ashton for all of you who don't know me, and welcome back to another episode here at the Inner Wealth YouTube channel. So let's review the market real quick, and I got a really good announcement for you guys. I'm pretty sure you guys are all going to be excited about it. So let's go ahead and dive into the markets first. Okay, so just looking at the DXY, you guys know we've swept all these previous previous monthly highs. And honestly, it just looks like we're going to continue going down a little bit more. We did take out that previous monthly low. That is something that I am looking at. We can potentially just push up from here. Or here's the other thing. It's like we could essentially even just play around in this area for a bit, right? So we don't necessarily always have to just come down, sweep, and dip. And that's something that I feel like a lot of individuals have a misconception of. So I needed to play some tunes. Okay, it's a misconception of needing to get a reaction right away. Not always will you get a reaction. Not always will the market just boom right out of your entry point. Sometimes it does linger around and it takes a bit more patience. I'll show you guys a trade that I took today that took a lot of patience, but very much worth it. So as I was mentioning the DXY, I do want to see more bullishness. We did take out some down liquidity. The weekly, notice that the weekly here is still respecting this bullishness. We have traveled down. Overall, still seeing some bullishness. I'm looking at previous weekly high, previous weekly low that swept that liquidity. I'm looking at this low. We could potentially head down there. We didn't come into that full mitigation. Failed to break structure on the daily. So we're still bearish on the daily perspective, bullish on the weekly. But we got these signs of accumulation, right? Early signs of accumulation. And so one of the things that I am looking at is this whole range right here. Funny thing is, I was looking at this whole push up, and just the other day I was targeting this gap, right? Like on Monday, that was literally my target for Monday, was this gap, right? And we did make it into that area. Pretty nice stuff. So we did make it into that area. Excuse me, it's freaking hot here. Oh, it is hot here in Utah now. Like I can't catch a break. It's either too hot, too cold. Anyways. Okay, so I was aiming for this gap right here on a Monday. I'm just going to come out and say it. Tell you guys what we're doing. Just like how I am sharing all these areas with you guys after the fact and before the fact on Twitter. Okay, on Twitter, I am posting all of my markups before the day starts. So follow me at inner_wealth_. Okay, that's my only Twitter handle. Okay. And you guys can follow up with my markups. It's basically like my journal. Like everything that I put on my journal, I'm putting out on Twitter. So you do what you want with that information, right? It's all out there for free for everyone. The second thing I want to tell you guys is that I am not only going to be sharing my markups with you on Twitter, but I am going to be sharing with you live. So every Tuesday, okay, as you guys can see on the screen, every Tuesday we will be having our Technical Tuesday analysis. In here, I invite you guys to come talk to me, share your ideas. If you guys want to break down some charts together, we can. If you guys want to look at a specific asset, a specific investment, if you guys have any questions, you guys will be available to ask everything throughout these live Tuesday calls that I will be having here on this YouTube channel, at the Inner Wealth YouTube channel. Guys, they are going to be free cost. All you need to do is be subscribed, and then you can comment. All right, so be sure to subscribe. Be ready for the first live analysis, Technical Tuesdays. Okay, for our first Technical Tuesdays on, I believe it's going to be, give me one sec, April 18th. So April 18th, I will see you guys. All right. And it's every Tuesday. Every Tuesday we'll be going live at 9:30 Eastern, okay, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. And yeah, guys, the recordings will also be available to you guys, but I am excited to and look forward to seeing every single one of you there, okay? So, not only will you be able to see these markups, but you guys will also be able to ask questions in regards of them, okay? So I am looking at this downside liquidity. I am going to look at just the previous daily low. I don't anticipate us to continue, taking down the lows. I feel like enough downside liquidity has been taken. But sometimes what takes place is like you'll have like a mitigation area. Let's say like this whole down push is your mitigation area, and then you'll have your first tap into it. And usually that first tap does get stopped out. Okay, so what usually happens in your area is price action will come down, tap, and not just leave, but usually what happens is price action will come down, tap, down one more time, sweep that low, and then accumulate. It doesn't necessarily have to break structure either. It just takes place like that. So this is kind of what I'm seeing right now. I want to see if price action is doing that here currently on the DXY. So really, after we take out this liquidity, more than likely just these current lows right here. Yeah, these ones all right there. Okay, most likely just these current lows right here. I want to see what happens after that, because we do have CPI tomorrow, and we can potentially just get a really strong reaction to the upside. But if not, I do see us coming up here for CPI and coming back to this candle. But honestly, I have a pretty good feeling we're going to continue dropping to these lows, take out this liquidity. Beyond that, I would just need more data to see what's going to happen, whether we're going to continue distributing to the downside and tanking, or if we're actually going to respect the monthly perspective and continue to the upside. I feel like this week is going to be crucial to the markets for our sentiment for like the rest of the month, and moving on with DXY, because we are in a critical area of accumulation. So it's either we're going to break the monthly and go down, or we're going to accumulate and continue to go to the upside. But every time we try to go to the upside, price action keeps rejecting us and keep coming down. So for me personally, I want to see price action sweep the lows and then watch what happens. I'll sit on the sidelines. I don't have to trade. I don't care about not having a trade. I mean, honestly, like, I like not having a trade. That just gives me more of my day to go about. So anyways, that's another topic. Okay, so all right. Besides that, I will be looking for some longs out of here. We'll see if that takes place. I'll wait for evidence, and we'll go to that trade that I was telling you guys about today. And yes, it is SPX. Okay, it is SPX. And sorry, it's just fucking hot. Okay, so now let's go to SPX, and honestly, I'm going to delete my markups from it because I don't have that many. So here on a weekly perspective, I was looking for either a new weekly high or a previous weekly low. One thing I'll tell you guys is, really, even if we're bullish, okay, if we're bullish, bearish, it doesn't matter. A doji candle, a doji for a week tells me that either the low or the high are gonna get swept, right? These type of price actions just tell me either the lows or the highs or both are gonna get taken out. So if I'm bullish, I want to see the low to the high. If I'm bearish, I want to see the high to the low. Okay, and I'm pretty bullish on these. The DXY wants to go down, then I'm bullish. The DXY wants to go up, then I'm bearish. So we'll see what ends up happening. Honestly, we have all areas marked up. This week's been very iffy. Right now of this, when there's high volatility news, okay, the days prior to that high volatility news impact are going to be very sloppy, and expect that. Like, it's not that price action is ugly, or I don't like price action today. Like, I think those are the most destructive comments and thoughts process that you can have. I don't like price action today. It's like, of course you don't understand it. But if you understood price action, right? If you weren't just expecting to get money out of it and just followed price action without any expectations, I promise you would love price action. Why? Because you understand it. Because you hold zero expectations from it, right? So check this out. Price action, yeah, it was pretty choppy. You know, I was looking at some accumulation out of this 4-hour low because it swept this previous daily low, came into that previous area of accumulation. Yeah, we have all those equal lows, but that doesn't mean we have to go down there, right? So we came into this imbalance here on the 4-hour, came into this candle, I guess, this last push up before we got the move down. I wanted to call it a breaker, but it's not a breaker. Okay, so we swept that area, this candle right here, we came back for that mitigation candle, and this is where I thought it got really interesting. So this morning, when we were here, I was looking at that whole 4-hour imbalance, and I saw price action here. Let me go back a little bit. Okay, I saw price action here take that imbalance, okay, right at the open. So I actually went short here right at the open. Okay, and I'll show you guys how I, like, right before the open. I know I don't trade right before the open, but given that liquidity had already been taken, okay, I was anticipating more downside until we took out some more liquidity to the downside or built it. Either way, we're either gonna build that liquidity or take liquidity. It's either or, right? But the liquidity to the upside has already been taken, so we can either anticipate liquidity to the downside to be taken or to be built up, right? So now we're down here, we're looking at this whole trade right here. Yeah, it was a beautiful trade, to be honest. I was looking at a new low. I didn't just take it, I actually did take it at about 50%. Stop loss above that high, at a new low. It wasn't quite the 1 2 3, but again, I wasn't really looking for anything crazy, given that it's literally the day right before NFP, so I'm not expecting anything too crazy. The trade did run for a little bit longer. I still collapsed that at the 1 to 2.5 because honestly, I could not care any more about what price action did beyond today. I actually even broke one of my rules, and I journaled about it. I reflected on it. It's like, why do I trade the day that I intended not to, right? And a lot of people say, well, if the setup's there, take it. Yeah, but if you have data that tells you that today is not a good day to trade, why are you trading it? Why not just paper trade it? Why not lower your risk, right? Anyways, I am anticipating, again, for everything going on to CPI. We're going to do our technical Tuesday today. And so going into CPI, guys, let's go into the indices. Okay, we do have an outlook on the DXY. You know, if by tomorrow, if before CPI we take the lows, we're running for the highs. If before CPI we still have all these lows intact, we're running for these lows and potentially coming down, this keyword, coming all the way down to this imbalance here. We will see what ends up happening. I like that imbalance, just because it swept previous daily low before it broke, but I also like this imbalance here. And if we were looking at this whole range, if it was a range, okay, let's look at the whole range from the high that swept previous daily highs to the lows that swept previous daily lows. So right here, so looking at our whole range, 50% and below, yeah, we are looking at some internal liquidity there. Yeah, you know what, I do see it potentially coming down here, but overall, like, we have unmitigated areas that are still left behind. There's this imbalance, there's this imbalance, right, and there's this one. I'm not gonna play every single imbalance, of course, right? I'm potentially just going to be staring at price action, looking at the lows, okay, and then waiting for those lows to really tell me what's gonna happen, because so far, to me, it's more of a setting an expectation, a false expectation on myself if I were to look at price action and say this is gonna happen, right? We'll see what ends up happening. I like to keep a probabilistic mindset. I am, looking for more highs on Dow. On a daily, weekly perspective, my weekly was this previous weekly high, but now it's just up here. I want to see what happens when we get up there. Price action does not seem to be slowing down, like, at all. And so yeah, we'll see what happens. Again, we can distribute above this high and just drop lower, okay? But I'm gonna wait to see what happens in here and see if we even get up there. Right? If we begin to show a distribution on the 1 hour above the previous daily high, I will be looking to go short. But we just gotta wait and see. Besides that, just marking out my weekly gaps. Right? We had Dow Jones with a beautiful weekly gap play here on Monday at the start of the week. Okay, we did accumulate, right? And then I personally played it right here, right after the open, come in there, and of course you guys already know I don't take the first tap in there, I took that second one. So after we swept this low, that's where I got in. And then aiming for that previous imbalance, or that current weekly opening gap, right? See, from last week's opening gap, right, to the new week opening gap. And we went a little bit beyond, but this is how I played it. I didn't really mind it. I did clench my cheeks right here when it came back hard, almost clapped me out at break even, but I was holding strong, right? So we'll see what ends up happening. Again, Technical Tuesdays, welcome, guys. We will be breaking down charts together. We will be marking up things together. Stay tuned, because I will be adding on a New York live trading session where I will be trading live with you guys, marking trades up and taking trades together. That will be taking place either on Mondays or Fridays. We will see. But either way, I am super happy and grateful to be here with you guys and share this time and space with you all. I am grateful that every single one of you keep tuning in week after week, video after video. Guys, if you do not mind, hit that like button. Let me know your thoughts on the video. And one last thing, type in the comments spring forward, hashtag spring forward. All these videos during spring, throughout this quarter, we're gonna put hashtag spring forward, hashtag spring forward. I'm gonna add it to my description as well, because we're springing forward right now. That's what we're focusing on. We're gonna work our asses off, spring forward, right, all the way to summer. So no breaks, no slowing down. This is your time. Get a grip on it now. All right, until then, guys, peace.